This is effectively the last roll of the dice, if you like, from healthcare workers, but the government really not returning here.
Yes, Colette. So I suppose healthcare workers really taking that final attempt to make that plea to the government to step in and to introduce a temporary mask mandate. As you mentioned there, the emergency powers expiring tonight at midnight. But the Taoiseach was out this morning speaking on radio, Colette, saying there's no justification at this point to reintroduce any COVID-19 restrictions. Micheál Martin saying that he did not believe that making masks mandatory would change the current COVID-19 situation. He said the country is now in a new phase. So what we're hearing from government, Colette, is very much along the lines of this is what living with COVID actually looks like. But it's a big challenge for frontline workers. We know that there are up to 6,000 frontline workers absent due to COVID-19. You have around 1,600 COVID patients in hospital and an enormous amount of elective procedures being cancelled up and down the country because of all of that overcrowding. This morning, Finlay Hayes said the government had a final chance to do the right thing.
The only measure we're looking for is the simplest measure of all, which is that mask wearing in indoor settings where we know the virus is transmitting at a massive rate. And this particular surge has seen a huge increase in hospital admissions, and also our overcrowded hospitals can't cope with that. So a very simple measure, one that isn't a major imposition on the public. Wear masks in all congregated settings, particularly on overcrowded buses, etc., public transport, and where possible people should work from home, and employers should be encouraged to ask people to work from home to reduce the congestion on public transport.
Well, Colette, this morning in the Dáil, the Health Minister, Stephen Donnelly, acknowledged those pressures on the front line and commended those frontline workers for their hard work throughout this. He was asked by Sinn Féin's health spokesperson, David Cullinane, if there had been any advice from the Chief Medical Officer, Tony Holohan, in relation to further restrictions.
Our workers and their members are exhausted. This is yet another COVID wave. It has been going on for a long time and people are tired and the pressure is relentless.
Is there any advice coming from the CMO to return to the legal mandate for mask wearing?
There is no advice coming to me at the moment in terms of the reimposition of any measures for various reasons. One, this sublineage BA2, which is about 95% of cases right now, being so contagious that actually using population-based measures to push the curve down would require some very serious measures indeed.
Well, Colette, we're just under 12 hours to that midnight cut-off for those legal powers. As I say, those frontline workers and unions representing them, making that last-ditch appeal for an introduction of a mask mandate. But the government certainly not minded to do that at this point in time. The Taoiseach saying it just isn't justified.
Zara King, thank you very much for that.